Hello, everybody. Welcome to Absolutely Obscure with Josh and Rory. I'm Rory.
I'm Josh.
This is a podcast where we watch movies you've never heard of and we talk about them. And this week we have maybe one of the funniest bad movies we've ever done on this show, Sinbad and the Battle of the Dark Knights.
Yeah. I
Uh, Josh, what were you telling me about Sinbad just a moment ago?
well, I was gonna let our fans know, like, or listeners or whatever, people that suffer through us, whatever they want to call themselves. We
Yeah.
when we started this podcast, I wouldn't consider myself someone of good movie taste. I like good movies for sure, but I also do enjoy movies that I'm sure other people hate. Or like
Yes.
comically bad movies. I think there's value in that for me. And,
Yes.
when we started this podcast, or when we theorized about it, I did think there was gonna be many times where it came up where you didn't like a movie and I did. And surprisingly,
Mhm.
it hasn't happened too much that I can think of.
The
Nothing
only
really.
one that comes to mind is the invention of kissing. Is
Oh, I
that
did
one?
like the
The
invention of kissing, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was sucked. Uh,
Anyway, I asked you yesterday, I said, "Hey, have you watched the movie?" You said it's awful. I started it
yes.
later than you, and I was like, "I love this movie."
Hey, good for you. Uh, this movie is insane and doesn't make any sense at virtually any time of its existence.
Yeah, it's, listen, and also me loving it, I would never recommend this to anybody unless you
Good.
like bad movies. That would be the
Yes.
only like, if you like bad there's so bad they're good kind of movies, I would say watch this. If you
Mhm.
don't bother, because yes, it is absolutely insane.
Yes.
Parts of it are downright terrible,
Mhm.
and, yeah,
Yeah.
should we just get right into it?
Yes, so this movie has a 2.2 on IMDb with 207 votes. 60 people have seen this on Letterboxd. This was directed by Alan Merez. Uh, and would it surprise you to find out that this had a troubled production, Josh?
I would be shocked by that, yes.
Would it surprise you to find out that they had to cancel almost all of the fight scenes planned because they realized that they only had real weapons? Like,
That makes it so much funnier that they had real swords. Oh my god. That's
so they
awesome.
had like big plans for these bigger fight scenes apparently, but they only had real weapons and they were going to go forward still until one of the producers was like, absolutely not.
That's so funny because I kinda became shortly obsessed with this movie. I started looking up everybody in the cast, and the one
Yeah.
guy is, like, Sinbad's mate that he like, his best is, like, number 2 guy. He's like a real, like, swordsman stage, combat training guy. So
Yeah.
so I assume
Yeah.
he was
Okay.
doing a lot of that on set. He also like, that's his whole his he has a crazy career path. He's like a visual effects guy now for, like, big movies.
Oh wow.
It's very
Yeah.
strange.
This movie has people that you know and recognize,
Yeah.
such as Mickey Rooney as a sage, who is insane.
Yeah.
A- And also, would it surprise you to find out that he apparently just exposed himself to basically everyone on set numerous times?
Wow. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
would be surprised by that. That's not good.
No, it's very bad, but it's also not surprising watching Mickey Rooney in this being like, yeah, this guy definitely showed things to people.
Definitely, because he is playing like you said, he's a sage, but he's also clearly a man who's, like, lost it. But a part
Yes.
when I was watching it, I was like, "Is he just a man who's lost it in real life?" Like, I don't know that Mickey
Hmm.
Rooney's that good of an actor, you know?
Well, now you do. Now you know. Uh, Sinbad, of course, is played by the most Arab person ever, Richard Grieco.
Absolutely, loved it.
I loved when as literally my first note is opening scene. Oh, we're going to have a lot of brown face in this, aren't we? And it wasn't. It did, but not as bad.
That was bad.
Not like overtly.
It was more of the lane of where it's like, ah, most of Arab people were white, probably. You know?
Yes, they were. It was. They did actually go into painting anyone, which is very nice. But it
Yeah.
was also all just white people playing
Yes.
Arabs.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, our three main villains
Yeah.
are we have Murky Khan, played by Elvis Rustano,
Yeah.
who you've never heard of before because he's not an actor. He was the second unit director of the movie who
Yeah.
also shot half the movie.
I 100. This guy, you didn't even have like I did know this going in, but if I feel like if I didn't know it, I would have guessed like actually that's not even true. I knew that the director was in the movie. The second I saw this
Yeah.
guy on screen, I was like, that's him for sure. He gave himself this
Yes.
role and he was like, I'm gonna ham it up like nobody's business. And I do want to say this part I did not like. I did not like his performance at all.
Okay, so this is some more fun behind the scenes stuff of the movie where they ran out of money, so they had to move production to like Bulgaria,
Yeah.
but the director couldn't go, so
Mhm.
the second director, Elvis, took over, and all of the stuff with him in it is what he added.
That's
That wasn't
so
in the
funny.
script at all. He just added it
Oh my
afterwards.
god, that's insane. Also, I'm not surprised they ran out of money because like as terrible as this
This
movie is, it looks their locations and like costumes aren't too terrible. Like you said, they somehow fucking bought real swords. No wonder they ran out of money. They spent all their
yeah,
money on actual arms.
yeah, the costumes they're not great, but
No,
like they have costumes,
they're
but the
serviceable, I would say,
locations
yeah.
are insane in this
Yes,
movie.
it
They
looks
actually have real castles and stuff they're
yeah.
filming in.
Yeah, and, like, when they're, like, walking through, like, those caverns and stuff, like, those canyons, like, it looks gorgeous. I was like,
Mhm.
"What? This movie has no business being filmed here."
Yeah, yeah, and they shouldn't have. They
No.
they lost all their money and they lost half the movie, which doesn't explain other problems with this movie. But we should actually get into
Yeah.
this movie. So we of course open on. We have to have this. This is post Princess Bride, so we're going to have it be a Princess Bride structure, but with two very bad characters.
Also, I do wanna jump in and say the music at the very start, fucking loved it.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
banging
even remember.
banging guitar. Also, there was a well, sorry, didn't start with that. It started with the longest fucking scroll I've ever seen in a terrible movie that I refuse to learn
Yes.
any of.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh wait, I did have here a music by Apocalypto. If you remember. That gives you a general sense of what it was. So we open on a grandfather who looks like a drunken homeless man stumbling into a massive house.
Yeah.
And I assumed that he didn't know these people at
Of
first.
course. I thought it was like an inn or something.
Yeah, yeah. And it turns out that he's there to babysit his like 14-year-old grandson.
Yeah, who also you say 14-year-old, he's like in a fucking suit and like
Yeah.
talks I don't know, he's I guess into investments and like I don't know who is this character?
This guy, it felt like a very 90s character of being like, oh, I have a giant cell phone and I'm going to work at the World Trade Center. And,
Uh, yeah.
and yeah, the kid was just, he obsessed with money. He was very like, I'm a capitalist. We're
Yeah.
going to make a lot of money. And that's what's important in life.
Right.
I don't want to hear your stupid stories, Grandpa.
Right, right. Yeah, no, and so yeah,
Uh,
they went down like you said. They very much just copied what's that fucking Never Ending
Princess Bride.
Story, yeah. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
yeah. They just the grandpa's gonna tell
They,
a story or whatever.
all those fantasy this
Yeah.
at one point very much feels like a parody of those fantasy,
100%.
like, oh, the chosen one, the kid entering the story himself thing. It definitely wasn't meant to be that parody of that. It just felt like it.
Also, I felt
Uh,
a little bit like Jumanji-esque, like, just based on the look of the book that he had. Like, it's in this
mhm,
big carved wood, like, basically it looks like the
yes.
Jumanji game piece out of the movie, and it's, like, covered in sand. Like, I feel like they just wanted to do that part where they blew the sand off of the top of it.
Yeah, the book in this movie isn't a book. Yeah,
No,
it's a giant wooden thing with many different parts and pieces to it
and think,
that they keep flipping to the same page, and it's the I'm so confused by the role of these two characters in this movie because at times it feels like, oh, they're getting sucked into the story,
yeah.
but they never leave the house.
No, it definitely, I felt it was the unnecessary storytelling device. Like you said, I feel like they did just think like this is how you tell a fantasy story. You do it by
Yeah.
people reading a story. Like, cuz I guess the he was like trying to, like we said about this kid, he was like trying to be, I don't know, like dreams of being like a high roller or whatever, and the grandpa's like, "No, you need imagination." So it was like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, like it was, he never, like, the amount of times he was reading the story and then it would, like, put them in place of what was happening, but he didn't really affect anything around him, like, it was, he was just watching everything.
He was watching everything, and yeah, sometimes he would be I was very surprised when he would show up in the scenes
Yeah,
in the desert because 'cause I'm just like, "Oh, I just assumed that this was a completely different shoot and they
right.
did that
They
they did,
needed,
like, way
yeah,
afterwards."
they needed to make up, like, 10 minutes, so they added this fucking thing of this grandpa telling a
Yeah,
story, yeah. Yeah, it was weird,
uh,
and, like, and then he would randomly start interacting with the people, and it's like, "Can they see him?
yeah.
What's happening here?"
Is he affecting this story, or is it
Right.
just a story being told to him?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this person
No.
other than to annoy the fuck out of all of us
Yeah.
and give us the most insane closing shot of a movie that we've ever had.
So, yeah, the only thing, like, and it's not of interest at all, but, like, the grandpa has this, like, to read the book, he has a fucking coin that he has to put in it, and the
Oh,
kid,
right.
I don't know, because he's
Forgot
obsessed with
about the fucking coin.
the kid wants the coin, which
Yeah.
also it's the size of his fist. It's, like, giant, and he's, like,
Mhm.
trying to grab it, and this coin's, like, floating around the room. It's the worst CGI you've ever seen. And the grandpa's like, "No, you're not worthy of the coin. The coin, chooses to be held by someone who's, like, worthy or whatever the fuck, because he doesn't imagine good enough." And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it feels like they just had ideas of what a fantasy story has,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "Just throw them all in there. Just
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
every single one."
Yeah.
Uh, the story being told by the grandpa is that, Murky Khan,
Yeah.
terrible name,
Yeah.
also the most flamboyantly gay villain I think we've that
Oh.
could exist.
Oh, I meant to look up who it was. Remember when we watched, what was it? What are the Shakespeare guys' names? Guildenstein? What are they?
Oh, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are undead.
Yeah. When we watched that, and you know the actor from Sopranos who was amazing in it
Mhm.
because he was like super
Yes,
campy villain, great, absolutely great.
yes.
This is what this man thought he was doing, and he
Oh, yeah.
was,
This guy thought that this was the funniest performance and the best, like, "Oh, we're just gonna have a blast
yeah,
doing it" performance out there,
and
and it
also,
sucks so hard.
well, and I'm not surprised, like you said, that that was all the stuff that was added. Like he felt very like an, and I feel like this will sound insulting, but he felt like a improv person where they were all standing face facing camera. Like they're, it's not
Yes.
natural. They're talking to each other, but all facing the camera. He's looking straight down the barrel of the camera. It's
Yeah, he
absurd.
speaks to us multiple times. It's and, like, nobody else does that throughout
No,
the entire movie.
no, it was terrible. I hated him. And I did my one line I liked right at the beginning, because yes, this is a story of Sinbad, and
Mhm.
the kid's like, "Isn't Sinbad a sailor?" And the grandpa's like, "Yes, the desert's basically a sea. It's a
A sea of
sand sea."
sand.
Like the
And I
stupidest.
like how they bring it up, like, multiple times being like, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be in the water, dude?"
That being said, I do have a little bit of a gripe with Sinbad, because I was looking into the character of Sinbad the sailor,
Yeah.
and it was like 7 or 8 stories or whatever. He literally gets shipwrecked in every single one of them. I don't think he's that great of a sailor.
I did not know that. He's, that's very funny.
It was hilarious. If anyone cared about Sinbad, I'd bother to make a joke about it, but I don't think anyone will.
Yeah, I Sinbad is, like, such a weird character in that he is famous.
Yeah,
Like, pe if you say Sinbad, people know who
people know what
you're
it is, yeah.
referencing,
Mhm.
but no one can tell you a story about Sinbad
No.
or what he does.
I read them on Wikipedia not 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember what they did, you know?
Yeah, it's always had this, like, level of schlock to it that's it's never got, like, a real proper movie or anything.
Right. Like,
Uh,
for me, I will say, like, one of the reasons I think I like this is I was a big fan as a kid and an adult of Hercules and Xena, and then Sinbad, the show, which I
yes.
loved,
Yeah,
but, like, it's hokey as hell. The fight scenes are terrible. There's all, like, like that going on. That's all
yes.
happening in this movie. So very much
I
like
wish it had more of that.
yeah, yeah, me too.
Uh,
Oh man, where do we go?
but yeah, Murky Khan, he's, like, been sent by the evil wizard Bephisto.
Mephisto. Which
Yeah,
and if we're talking about Murky Khan being the worst performance of a campy guy, man,
yeah,
Mephisto lays it on
is
in
the
this movie. I
oh god, yes.
loved it. He
Have
was
you heard of Dean Stockwell before?
no. Well, you know what? I
No,
looked him up, but I can't remember what he did now.
he's done worked with David Lynch, he was in
Ooh.
Blue Velvet,
Oh
he was
boy.
in my favorite movie of all time, Paris,
Mhm.
Texas.
Interesting.
He's, like, a very well-regarded
The name
actor,
does sound
and then
familiar.
he shows up in this, he's like
That that, no joke, to anyone who hasn't watched this movie, is a dead on impression of what he sounds like in this movie. It's the craziest voice I've ever heard in my life, and I loved it.
near the end of the movie, it sounds like he's losing his voice doing the voice.
He's in like
He sounds like he's trying to scream, but, like, if you were trying to scream while being quiet.
I feel like he did long term damage to his vocal cords for doing this movie.
He agreed to do the movie after he was promised he would get a box of Cuban cigars upon landing in the Middle East,
That's
and he got off the plane and turned around and walked back on because they did not have the cigars.
that's awesome. I love this
And he
guy.
was eventually convinced to stick around, but yeah, he plays Mephisto. I think he's a wizard, but I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah,
He should be a wizard.
he's a evil wizard, yes. And he was
Yeah.
obsessed with taking over their city, I guess. And he was
Mhm.
using Murky Khan and what's the other Nimbus? I remember it being a water
Nimbus.
company. Yeah, he's using them to
Yeah.
like do it.
Yes, yeah, because he's looking for the key.
Yes.
It's this that's the MacGuffin of the movie.
Yeah.
He's looking for the key of life or whatever
Whatever.
that will
They
give
just say
him.
it's a key that can help you get power. I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
like,
Uh,
as much as we hate this Murky Khan, a kite
mhm,
happens by, and and like he's like all offended by it or whatever, and then one of his guys grabs it, and it's like it's a trap. It explodes, and then
yes.
thankfully there's about 30 of them in the sky, and he dies, and he's out of the movie, and I was so happy.
I was so confused when he died because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We also haven't talked about his assistant, who is like a white woman in the in like a Johnny Carson sized turban who's got like a squeaky voice. I don't
Well,
understand
this
what
is
any
why
of
it
that.
felt very improv-y. Like, it felt like he was like, "Let me get my troupe. We're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna, uh, make this part funny," and it was awful.
y-
I hated it.
it was really bad.
Yeah.
She was doing bits the whole time, and they none of them worked.
No,
She was doing her best.
they did this bit where, like, he was trying to run from the exploding kites, and she was, like, carrying his, like, like you would a wedding dress, like, holding up the ends, and but because she's holding it, he's, like, trying to run, and then he, like,
Mm,
stops and, like, zigs and stops again, and it was just like, this isn't doing it. Please die
no,
from the explosions, because 'cause I'm done seeing you."
yes. And I want to be clear. You might be like, "Oh, this is all happening so fast." We are 30 minutes into this movie. Nothing happens for like 30 minutes of this movie.
No.
We haven't met Sinbad yet, which is insane. This is an hour and a half long movie, and it takes us 30 minutes to meet Sinbad, and then he disappears again for like another 15 minutes.
It is funny, I forgot at this point that Richard Grieco is even in this movie. This is where he shows up. He's on top of, like, his buddy, who is, Rufio in Hook.
Rufio, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have his name written in here, but yes,
I think
Rufio,
it's Dante
Donnie,
something. Dante
yeah,
something?
Dante,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Brasco, I think.
yes, you're right. Yeah, he was good. Or, like, with what he had. Um,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, and, but yeah, Richard Grieco, as Sinbad is hysterical. He also has not as crazy as the other ladies, but his, turban also pretty close to it's like half a Carson size.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
He's
they put the real one that Aladdin has when he's like Prince Ali, it looks like
mhm,
that. It's that
yes,
big,
very much so.
cartoonishly big.
And yeah, they're the ones launching the kites down
Yeah.
to that they somehow made explosive.
Yeah, they don't really explain
And
it.
they finally kill Murky Khan. At this point, we've also met Nimbus,
Yeah.
who is a like hired sell swords kind of guy.
Right.
Uh, he's much more of a serious villain. I
Yeah.
think his performance is probably the best in the movie.
I thought he was fun, yeah.
Uh, yeah, he's not too serious, but he's still got like a bit of camp flair for a villain. But he's fun. He wears like a half mask on his face
Yeah.
that
Well,
looks really bad.
at this point, he has a full mask, which I did like his full mask look, and then because he
Right.
goes up the mountain where, like, Sinbad was, and they do have a pretty
Mm.
awesome sword fight, I thought. But I'm
Yes, yes,
realizing
this was a
now,
good sword fight.
yeah, this one, it was with the dude, like I said, that was, like, a trained swordsman, so I feel like that's why it was
Mhm.
good, and then he, um, like, falls in a lava pit?
They push him into a lava pit, and then they're standing right by the edge of the cliff, and
Yeah.
he crawls up and he grabs Sinbad and he pulls him
Pulls them
down
down
too.
too, yeah. So they both fall
Yeah.
into it's not it's a lava vortex. It, like, sends them to a it is yeah, I did think this he basically falls, and then
Yeah.
2 seconds later, we see him walking out of, like, the lake of hell, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking go get Sinbad." It was like he was not even dead for 30 seconds of screen time in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know if they died or what happened because Sinbad just kind of wakes up in a
Right,
cave.
this is where we meet Mickey Rooney, and
No,
thankfully
Mickey Rooney was at the top of
oh, that's
the
right,
uh
yes. He
so Mickey Rooney is this crazy sage who claims things throughout the movie. I honestly don't know if he had a script or they just let Mickey Rooney speak. Uh
he was ripping,
and
yeah.
he was like at the top where they were setting off the kites and he was like
Oh,
mad
right.
at them.
And
And then
he was the one who,
go ahead.
like, yeah, the guy with the mask was gonna kill Sinbad, and then he, like,
Hmm,
heated up his sword, and that's what made him he dropped his sword and kinda stumbled back, right? It's like, he kinda helped get him
right.
off the cliff, and,
Right.
and then oh, and then also then the one guy went to go his, like, Sinbad's buddy went to go, like, shake his hand turned into, like, snakes for a second, which was creepy as fuck.
Right.
I don't know, this is I
Yeah,
don't even know why I wrote this stuff down, but,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and this kid,
Oh,
he keeps randomly. It doesn't make any sense. Like we were talking about, like because the book they're looking. The book sometimes turns into also a vortex, and they're like looking into it,
yes.
and then sometimes they're in the story, and the book is a book, and they're like looking around, and then sometimes something will like be. Then they'll be back in the house, and like one of the people from the stories will be in the house with them. Like it's
Yeah.
all sorts of over the place.
There's no logic to it, and it hurts my head to try and apply any logic to it.
Yeah, I don't know. And yeah,
Uh,
sorry, the
but
sage. This is why it was confusing
yeah.
because the sage is immediately down in wherever Sinbad ended up. Like you said, he was like out cold.
Well, it seems like the time has passed. We don't know how much or if any at all did, because now, yeah, the sage is down in this cave that Sinbad is awakens in, basically,
Right.
and Sinbad has no. I feel like I would not be surprised if I found out Sinbad had literally like 5 lines this entire movie. I feel like we don't know anything about Sinbad.
Well, we find out here, Rory, because he happens to also have a story coin, which was the dumbest fucking callback
Right.
to. Anyway, so then Mickey Rooney like looks at it, and we find out. Um, I guess this mask guy is part of the Dark Knights, the titular Dark Knights, and
Right. Yes.
we see that Sinbad had a lady that he was had a crush on as he was a kid, and he got like ran out
Yeah.
of
By
town.
lady, he means a child. They were both
They were
children.
both
I should.
children, yes, yes, they were both children, and a little crush, and then he got, like,
Yeah.
ran out of town by her I guess she was the princess, right? Like, and,
Yes, it
yeah,
was the princess who we will later get to meet up
yeah.
with. And yeah, Sinbad, which I don't understand why he was hanging out with the princess, because we also find out he's the son of like a woodcutter.
Yeah, but
And
that's why,
uh,
because it's the whole
what?
it's the forbidden, 2 different
Oh,
classes,
it's the
Rory.
Aladdin thing.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
it literally is, yes,
Yeah,
and,
I
um,
guess.
and then his dad then it just kinda cuts to is his dad immediately killed by the Dark Knights? Well, his dad does
Yeah.
also do a pretty good number on these guys, which I liked. Again, another cool
Yes,
fight
yeah.
scene.
They're walking through a forest, which I'm also just like, wait, there's a forest also in the desert, and isn't he? Why isn't he on the sea?
Yeah. Well, because he's a woodsman.
Uh,
See, he had to live
yeah.
near the woods. And,
So yeah, the Nimbus is the one who kills his father,
yeah.
which is very funny later on when Sinbad brings it up, and Nimbus is just like,
Who?
I don't know your fucking dad, man.
I really thought it
And
was
like,
yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a Thanos line where he's like or whatever, it was like, "For me, that was Tuesday, like, I don't give a shit," you know? But he
I
is
mean, it should have been. It was
yeah.
a random guy in the woods he killed.
And but then also, his dad was the one who fucked up his face. Like, that's why he wears the
Mm,
mask, like you said, right?
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Although it should be said, we do see his face later. It's just a guy,
It's yeah,
and he has no. He doesn't even have a scar.
they didn't have makeup money, Rory, come on.
But it's just very funny for them to be like, and you are this hideous, hideous creature who has to cover his face, and then he takes off. It's just him. But yeah, so he tells Mickey Rooney about his forbidden love, and now he must go save the princess and the family from Mephisto, because Mephisto has decided, they must have the key to life.
Yeah,
I'll send my warriors to
yeah.
fight them and take over the kingdom.
They just start killing every person in the city. It's
Yeah,
insane. Just steal
yeah,
everybody. And then so I do like they go up to the princess who's now and her sword fight I love because it's like sped up. It's like fast forward motion because
yeah.
I'm also really happy that they weren't swinging fucking real swords at each other apparently.
Yeah, yeah. So they probably were like, okay, we'll just do it in slow motion and speed it up in post so you don't fucking kill each other.
Yeah. Oh man,
Uh
lots of my notes
was
aren't
the
even.
princess in Power Rangers? Did you watch Power
I
Rangers?
did watch Power Rangers. She might have been. You know what? I am fascinated by this woman because I found
Yeah.
out she used to be married to Mark Paul Gosselaar, and now she's married to Jeff Probst,
Oh.
which
Huh.
I had no idea that she was an actress. Like Jeff Probst's wife was an actress. So,
That's
yeah,
that's very that's a random yeah, that's a very random connection.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna say because you found out that she did porn, but I don't think.
No, I went to check and then I found out something more interesting. She's married to the guy on the show that I like.
uh, and now we are halfway through this movie, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh my god, we got lots to go with."
I
All
I'm
right,
I'm looking
so
at my notes. They don't even make sense to me anymore.
the
Oh, like I think
at
he tries to like this is what it means. Cuz the mage like wants to go with him and he's like,
mhm.
"No, you're going to slow me down." And then he like runs and then the mage is just like there
Right,
cuz he's
yeah, the
mad
mage
cuz
is
he's
just
mad.
like, "Oh, you don't know some shortcuts,"
Right,
and
right,
just
yeah.
like, "Okay, buddy, if you say so."
Mhm.
So he makes friends with Sinbad, and then the next time we cut to Sinbad, he's just with his friends again, and they're pulling schemes. I'm like, "What happened?
You know what I
How did
loved?
you meet them?"
You know what I loved about his one friend, the sword guy, is he
Yeah,
in the first scene and like later in the movie, he has this insane mullet wig. And
yeah,
and then there's one scene where he has like I think they're dressed up as like they're pretending to be the bad guys, so they're in like their armor. So he has a
mhm.
helmet on, which clearly the giant ass wig didn't fit under, so he just doesn't have any hair coming out the back of it. But
I
yeah.
the movie completely falls apart now in that I feel as like they were just like, let's just try and build scenes until we get to the end. Like it doesn't have to. They don't really lead anywhere. They're constantly meeting people, fighting them, and then it's just another scene.
I did
They're never finding out more information or where to go or anything.
The part I liked was, which came out of nowhere, was, like, the mask guy also just now decides, like, "Hey, this princess is pretty hot. I'm gonna try and
Yes.
bang her." And then she's like, "Oh, I'm hoping my, like, long lost love Sinbad will come back." And he's like, "He's dead." He
Yeah,
and
I killed him.
he sent me to no, because he says he's like, "We were friends, and he sent me to protect you, so that's what I must do."
Right.
And he's, like, trying to,
Which
like
is insane because she knows he's evil.
Yeah, that's what
She knows that
I
already.
don't know why she, like, bought into it. I was so confused.
And also, like later on, when she escapes and she sees Sinbad and her parents, she's just like, "Hey, you lied to me. You said that they were all dead." And I'm just like,
He's
"Yeah,
I
he's a bad guy.
but I did like
He's
that
imprisoning you."
she did say yeah, like, exactly like that. She's like, "You lied to me," and he's like, "Ah." Like, he's so annoyed that he got found out.
Yes.
He doesn't even try to deny it. He's just like, "Come on." You know? I also love, like I said, the how they dress up like the bad guys to take the city back, like Sinbad and his buddies. They take it
Mhm.
back, and they also get all the townspeople to help them. They take
Right.
it
Yes.
back so easily. Like, the
Yeah.
guards are, like, sitting around being like, "I guess we're just in charge now," and they immediately just all get stabbed by their own weapons. It's awesome.
Immediately. It takes. I'm pretty sure it takes 5 minutes
Yeah, they
for
had
them to
control of the
defeat
city
the
for
enemy.
5 minutes. Um,
I did like how we also meet the carnivorous gypsies at this point, which
the cannibal gypsies.
yeah, which I won't say gypsies. I'll try not to say it as
Right.
much, but it's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
just like four hot women
Yeah.
in silks that will surround someone, and then when they pull away, it's
They're
a
just
neatly
gone.
folded pile of clothes.
I also all the cannibals had scarves over their mouths, which I
Yes,
feel like would make being a cannibal very hard.
yeah, in my experience, at least.
And,
But
so yeah,
they're never explained, or you never know where they came from or why they exist. It is in another insane part of this
I
movie.
think they just wanted to throw in cannibals. I don't know. It seemed weird because they also because I he rarely present cannibals in a movie and are like, "Don't worry, they're on the good team." Like,
Yes, that's a good point. Sinbad has no problem with these cannibals.
no, they like set them up. They're like, "Hey, go eat." They like lure men into their traps. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I also did love the one funny thing about Nimbus. I liked because he's like actively trying to manipulate this girl. And
Mhm.
it takes her maybe 1 second, like, she's just like, "Oh, if only Baphomet must want the key." And he's like, "What's that?" And she's like, "Oh, just, like, the most powerful thing in the world, like, anyone who had it could easily rule the city." And he's immediately like, "Oh my god, I have to have this key." Like, she's like, "I could probably fall in love with a guy who had this key." And he's like, "Oh, man, I gotta get this fucking key." It's so awesome.
Yeah. He's very dumb. I mean, they're both but also I can't say that because both so easily manipulated each
Yep,
other.
they both fall for each other's tricks. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Um, at some point during this, we do cut back to the grandfather and the grandson. This was actually a long time ago, but I did want to bring up the time that the grandfather was like, "Come sit beside me," and then they just have a fart noise in it, and the grandson's just like, "Ah, it's air's better over
Yeah, I'm
here."
gonna stay over here. Yeah, there was a couple of fart noises in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know. I guess I thought it
Um,
was fun.
I feel like, yeah, because the first half feels like a comedy, and then it's not really funny at all
No, there's not lots
in
of
the second
jokes.
half.
Like all the humor, all the stuff I'm laughing at is how terrible it was. It was, you know.
Yes, yeah.
Also, to
Uh,
the kid's dad in the like real now
yes.
time. Is it the
Mhm.
same actor as Nimbus?
Maybe.
Because
I didn't actually
I thought it was, and I was confused whether that was gonna play out because I guess this is another part, like, I honestly forgot they even set it up at the start, but they talk about
Mhm.
how yes, and I don't really like that they called them gypsies the whole time, but they set up that
Yeah.
the kid's mom was,
Mhm.
like they call her, like, the gypsy princess or something like that, and then I got confused because he meets one back in time that looks exactly like his mom, and they basically they
Yes.
imply is his mom, but she must have been 1,000 years older than like, it didn't make any sense, like, so I don't know if it was, like, that's just his
Yeah,
lineage
'cau
or
yeah, because he says, "Oh, you look just like my mom," and then it cuts to him and it sitting beside his grandpa, and the grandpa's just like, "Your mom was very beautiful," and then he says, "Still is." I'm just like, "Wait a minute, is his mom dead or not? Or is she this ancient gypsy woman or not?" I don't I'm so
It
confused.
was very confusing, yes.
Because it's kind of implied that he is a descendant of Sinbad, I feel, and that's why the
Yeah,
grandfather has the coin.
right.
That's what I thought,
It
and that's
seemed
what it was
like
the same coin that Sinbad had,
they were all linked, that's why I thought the dad might be Nimbus
but
somehow, like, I thought
it's
they were gonna go into that.
it might have been the same actor, I'm not sure.
Well, that's what I thought about this, like, if they all had ties back to this ancient land, I wondered if the dad was, like, somehow secretly, because even he, like, at the end, he gets the coin, he's like, "Dad, look at this coin I have," and he's eerily like, "Interesting." Like, I thought it seemed very sinister, which and we can get into it,
Yeah,
but
that might have been the implication.
I mean, this movie, apparently, they thought this was gonna be a fucking successful franchise with the way it ended, but,
Yes, they really thought that this was gonna be a sequel, get a sequel, uh, because I feel like let's finish up Mephisto,
yeah.
and then we'll talk about the insane ending.
Right, and we did miss
Because we
one
checked in with
thing,
Mephisto.
too with
Yes. Yeah.
Mephisto, where his weakness is, he doesn't like he's banished all mirrors. He doesn't, like, seeing the image of like, there's one point where, the Nimbus goes up with his sword, holds his sword up, and he, like, cowers from the glare, and, like, his
Yeah.
right-hand guy's like, "No, no reflections." it'll kill him.
Mm,
And so that's his like
yeah, he can't stand the look into his own soul because
yeah.
it's so dark and evil.
Right. He also
Uh,
has a
and
gross runny nose or bloody nose the entire movie. It's nasty.
he's coughing up blood. Well, he's not coughing up blood because they couldn't afford
Right.
whatever that would be.
Yeah.
But he has a bloody rag that he just holds near his mouth the entire time.
Yeah. Can you do the impression one
And I
more
also
time?
like how we cut back to him at one point, and he was Homer Simpson yellow.
Yes.
He's not later on. Just that one scene, he's insanely yellow.
I feel like
Uh,
they didn't have the right
but
gels or something for the camera that day.
yeah. But he basically, I don't remember how he finds out where the key
Yeah, it
is.
seems like he knew the whole time. Like no one tells him. He's basically like, you know what? I'm gonna go get that key.
Yeah, now that I guess he's close enough to where he thought it would be, he goes up into this tower,
Yeah.
Andrus's room, and he opens a chest, and then he realizes, oh no, wait, this room is full of mirrors.
Well, I feel like it was also maybe a ploy by Mickey Rooney, right? Like there's a mirror in the
Yes.
chest, then he looks around, there's a mirror all around, and then his like reflections basically like you're a piece of shit and you're gonna
Yeah.
die. And it's also
That
Mickey
was the
Rooney.
biggest special effect of this movie, having two Bephistos on screen at the same time.
Man, him acting with himself was fucking awesome. I loved it.
It was easily the best scene of the movie.
Yeah, and
Because
he
because
Bephisto
yeah,
just
he appears at like a version of himself appears is just like it was actually well, one, the key turns out to be in your mind the whole time.
that's right.
It's
Yes.
your own self-worth or whatever. I don't know.
Everyone has a key inside
And
them.
his self-worth is nothing.
Right.
Yeah, you got a key inside you, Josh. You can be an evil wizard if you want.
God willing.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, he basically goes insane because he can't stand the look of himself, and he falls out of the tower
Yeah.
and dies.
He's just dead. Yeah. And then the every
And then
person
Mickey Rooney pops out and is just like, "Hey, I'm here too." Wah, bah, 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 bah."
yeah. Oh, you know what I did like sorry, and cuz Sinbad and Nimbus are having a sword fight. There was one line that I really love. This is my favorite line of the whole movie. Is he slices like Nimbus across his stomach. Also, every sword fight in this movie has
Yeah,
like sparks coming off the blades when they hit each other, which is great. But he slices him in the stomach
yeah,
and he like looks at him and then he's just like, "Yeah, that's why you wear armor, dummy." Because it didn't do anything. I did like that a lot.
yeah.
And yeah, he I don't know, he ends up beating Nimbus. I don't really remember how, but he wins.
Oh my god. The Nimbus's death is the best thing though,
Okay,
because he
please.
chases him to like a coliseum and Nimbus kicks the shit out of
Yeah.
Sinbad. And he's literally moments away from killing him. And then the princess runs up and throws Sinbad a necklace. And then uh
Yes.
he's and Nimbus is just like, I guess I'll kill you instead now. Despite despite the fact that I was literal seconds away from killing Sinbad, and I still could.
Yeah, he's like a distracted dog. Like it's great.
Yeah. And then uh Sinbad stands up and is does like a flip and drives Nimbus's own sword into himself,
Yes, yeah.
and he drops and he rolls down the Colosseum
Every step
steps,
on the Coliseum, yeah.
but they're like a little too far apart. So every fall takes like a little too long. So it's like thump, thump, thump,
Yeah.
thump.
Yeah, it's like a slinky losing momentum. It was great.
Yes. Yeah, that was great. I laughed really hard at that. And then we cut back to I
The
guess oh
the
well, Sinbad I guess is now the
Oh, yeah,
king. He's going to marry the
yeah,
princess.
he's gonna
He
marry the
gives
princess.
the tower to the sage
Right.
despite the fact that he's an insane person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did
Uh
and then, yeah, we cut back to the story, and the kid has the key inside of him, and he's showing off
mhm.
the coin to his dad, like I said, and then, yeah,
Oh wait,
Befist
we
oh.
forgot. Bephisto doesn't fall out of the tower. He falls out of the tower onto the table in the thing, and then he like falls multiple times. He like lands and then he like
Yes.
falls again.
That's
Boom,
what I
boom.
mean, it
He's like
doesn't make sense, like,
bouncing.
he falls out of the tower, and then is above them in the house, and in like they're looking in the book like that's where the story's taking place, but then stuff falls into the book. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
We can't do this, Josh. We can't we can't try and make sense of
Right.
Sinbad and the Dark Knights.
Well, and then I mean the best part,
Uh,
the best
um,
ending to this movie ever that they could have come up with is the grandpa's all proud of his
oh
son,
my god.
and then Mephisto pops out of the book and grabs the grandpa into the book, and the kid's screaming, and then it closes.
Yes, and we freeze frame on the kid screaming, and then it jumps into a close up, and then it jumps in again.
Yeah, like
So it's
4
literally,
times.
if I could do it on my computer
It's on
screen,
his
this
nose.
close. It. Oh my god. They jump in. It's basically, if you ever look at any of my social media profiles, it's what I use because I think it's really funny to zoom in that close and have a really grainy bad image.
Well, guess what, Rory?
That's what they ended their movie
Someone
on.
beat you to the punch. And, yeah, and it closes, and now the book
Son of
says
a bitch.
the book says, "The Revenge of Mephisto." So they really, really
Oh,
thought they were getting a sequel.
I did not even notice that.
Yeah, it was a different book.
Oh my god, this movie is insane and so funny and so bad,
Yeah.
but so hard to watch.
Oh, man, yeah.
Uh,
It's funny, you know how sometimes,
what
we talk about movies and, I like them more? I feel like this one we talked about and I
yeah.
hated more, so that's interesting. But I,
Yeah,
but I'd give it another
yeah.
shot someday, you know, if I found it in better quality. Then it's on YouTube if anyone wants to
What
watch
what
it.
what yeah, we watched it on YouTube. Unsurprisingly not copyrighted.
No one gives a
And
shit. Yeah.
what would we give this on Letterboxd?
Um. Oh man. I mean,
I would go with 1.5 stars because it's fun, but I don't think it's fun enough to have to sit through.
I mean, I have a hard time. We're getting some shit movies like twos. I feel like I'd have to. I'm okay with whatever we want to give it. Personally, I'd have to probably give it a 2.
Okay, I'm good with the two. I'm good with the two.
Okay, sounds
Uh,
good. All right.
Thank
Well,
you guys so much for watching, for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you guys did, if you enjoy the show, make sure to like us, give us a comment, send us any feedback you have to absolutelyobscurepodcast@gmail.com. Share us with any friends that you have. We appreciate any and all support and feedback that you guys give us.
yes, and if you want to follow us individually too, you can at the True Rory and Real Funny Josh. And thanks again for anyone sticking through us this time, where we're in different continents and figuring this out.
Yes.
And thanks, producer Aaron, doing a great job.
Yes, thank you to producer Aaron Campbell, handsomest man in comedy, owner of This Thing On Productions. Thank you to Matt Prince for our theme music, and thank you guys for listening. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.